This year, the Children's Home Society of South Dakota is celebrating 130 years of helping kids across the state. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, Lauren Solich takes a look at the organization's past, present, and future as they head into their 131st year.
The front entrance of the Children's Home Society along North Sycamore Avenue is a time capsule of photos and items that date all the way back to the 1800s. John Derby arrived at the Children's Home Society in 1945, 52 years after the orphanage got its start.
But this is skinny me right here.
His childhood photos are featured on the history walls.
They're some of my memories, very positive. And again, I think as you grow older, you begin to see, well, boy, I'm thankful for, the value system because it stayed with me.
Now, when John Derby moved into the Children's Home Society, he was in the original orphanage along East 10th Street. But now all that's left in that location is a historical marker, noting that the original landmark orphanage was erected in 1901 but closed in 1968.
Today, that's where Lewis Drug is on 10th and Cliff. But that's where the children's home was, and there was a garden, there was a big old barn. They had a cellar, root cellar that housed all of the vegetables and everything like that.
Derby is just one of thousands of children who have come and gone through the years at the Children's Home Society.
So many amazing memories of all the amazing kids we've served and families we've helped, and it's almost overwhelming to think of all the lives that have been touched over those years, especially when you go back 130 years.
These days, the organization is much more than just an orphanage. In 1998, it merged with Children's Inn, a domestic violence shelter serving children and adults. Last year, the shelter operations moved into a new building and became the Children's Home Shelter for Family Safety.
I think it's really important to know, too, that we're also a mental health provider. We work with a lot of children and a lot of families who are having situations, and the children are having some emotional behavior problems that are really more mental health related, and they're not related to abuse and neglect, and child protection is not involved with those kids.
In an effort to continue expanding, construction is underway to build a bigger kitchen and dining hall on the Children's Home campus.
Things are always changing and evolving, and of course, the Sioux Falls region is growing.
And the growth isn't only happening in Sioux Falls.
A big thing we have going on out in the Black Hills, we're remote, we're out in the hills, and it's been challenging for attracting staff, and we get snowed in the winter, and we're not able to have day students because we're remote, so we have big plans. We're going to move our Black Hills Children's Home into Rapid City. So that'll be a very, very big project.
Despite the changes, the core mission of the Children's Home Society remains the same 130 years later.
It's really all about the safety and well-being of children. In a nutshell, that's what our mission is.
Derby thinks back fondly on his time at the Children's Home and the values the staff taught him.
We were taught a lot of values, but my value system, I look back, came while I was living there, and I think the most important value is just to treat people respectfully.
Lessons he took with him into a 47-year career in education.
I look back and I don't realize, how important, the superintendent guided and directed me making better decisions, and how the boys and girls matron, they weren't there for the money.
And stories like Derby's help inspire staff today.
To me, that's the absolute best. That, there's a lot of challenges in our world today. There just are. And that's just a fact of life. But there's so much good that goes on, and Children's Home is a part of that. There's love, there's support, there's kindness.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Lauren Solich.
If you would like to help the Children's Home Society continue the next 130 years, follow the link under this story on KELOLAND.com. That link is going to allow you to learn more about the history of the organization and its founders.